Can't believe I'm making a second video, at least not that fast, but this is fun for me. And what I realize is something that I missed yesterday and probably is very, very important, and that is what is a stock. So let me tell you a little bit more about what is a stock, kind of a little bit more about the stock markets, and I'll get something important at the end. So a stock is, let's say you're a company. You want to make extra money because you want to invest this money, you want to have these opportunities, you want to buy something, for instance. You're going to take yourself and you're going to put yourself on the public markets. In the public markets, they value it with your assets, how much profits you're making, how much, let's say, physical products you have, and you have to get a market cap for that company. That company takes itself and it divides itself into shares, and that's what a stock is. It's pretty much a slices of those company, and you technically are owning a piece of that company. So in the most simplest terms ever, that is pretty much what a stock. Let me tell you something very important about the stock market, and kind of will explain a little bit more about what's going on today and in these events and these markets. So the most important rule about the stock markets do not like uncertainty. Markets love certainty. They absolutely hate uncertainty. Why is that? You're talking about people putting their investment dollars, their retirement money, their family money. These banks are putting millions and trillions of dollars, people, others' retirements, investments for themselves, these billionaires. So people want to know where their money is going. So people love certainty. They want to see, I'm investing my hard-earned dollars in the next 6 months, 1 year. I want to know that most likely it will go up because that's what markets really do. At the end of the day, they mostly go up. No matter when you buy, if you look at the history of the markets, they go up. So people want to know that, but they also don't want to wake up one day and see 50% drops in certain stocks or in their portfolio, or maybe 80%, or maybe go bankrupt. So people, when there's uncertainty, they pull out their money. They want to secure their money, they want to be safe, and that causes a further drop. So what causes uncertainty? What causes people to panic and sell? So let's talk a little bit more, for instance, like a black swan event. Black swan event is when an event happens and people don't see it coming, like the whole world doesn't see it coming. For instance, COVID. People did not see it coming. People were panicking. People were not traveling. So these are kind of like what a black swan event is. People don't see it coming. They panic. They pull out their money. So what's going on now? There's no COVID. There's none of that going on, but there is, politics aside, we're here in the market, just focusing only on the markets. Right now, it's kind of a man-made decline. People are uncertain because of tariffs. Right now, there's tariffs being imposed in other countries. We have, some people call it a tariff war. So people are very, very, very uncertain. But unlike COVID and now, these companies back then were not really making money. So let's say you were a cruise line, you were an airline company. People were not traveling. There was no business travel. People were not traveling. People did not want to take a cruise. That's how it was, like a floating cesspool. That's how you spread COVID around. For a little while, it was even banned. So picture these companies. You're not making money. You have these cruises, these ships, these airlines, these airplanes that you are financing and you owe debt on. But in reality, people are not taking your product and not using your product, so you're losing money. So there made sense why these prices went down. What's going on currently is kind of a little bit different. It's very weird. If you think about it, what's going on nowadays, these companies are making a lot of money. They're firing on all cylinders. These companies could not be doing better. You're talking about companies like Nvidia breaking record profits, profits that were not imaginable just a few years ago. We have companies being $1 trillion market cap, just making so much money. So what's going on currently? People are still uncertain. People are withdrawing their money, causing a decline. So, but if you really look at it, the markets are very, very bouncy. It's like a spring right now currently. As any good news, they're ready to explode because there's that what doesn't make sense, if you want to call it, for perhaps. So you have these companies that are making so much money, but they're very, very cheap. So there's that divide going on. So any good news, you're gonna get a V-shaped rally, which is pretty much stocks just take off. Typically, you get a U rally. Companies build up. Consumers want to start spending more money. For instance, like COVID, where we slowly break barriers. People become more comfortable. Now they start traveling, and then it's just gradual incline. Right now, you're having a man-made kind of crash, and companies are doing amazing. Our future is amazing. You're having, for instance, autonomous, these computing powers, like for instance, Chat GPT. A lot of amazing stuff going on. So, yesterday I mentioned a few stocks, and the reason why I want to get to that is because you just gotta remember, stocks is a ride. You want to take it the long way and just it's gonna be ups and downs. The whole time is gonna be ups and downs. Yesterday I was hurting and I was losing a lot of money. So and today I'm like, complete opposite. I've gained most of my money back and now it's pretty good. So it's not as much as before, but it's a decent comeback. And just remember your long term perspective because at the end of the day, if you invest in compounding machines, really good companies, kind of like I talked about, and I mentioned why, these companies will make you so much money and they're very, very safe. And that's how you create generational wealth and financial freedom. So I talked about a few companies. Remember, this is a ride. It may go completely down tomorrow. We just don't know, especially right now. It's so uncertain, and markets do not like uncertainty. So we have Google, for instance. They're up 10%. Trillions of dollars of company up 10% in one day. Nvidia, trillions of dollars of market cap, is up 18.64% today. We have companies like Amazon, which I talked about yesterday, is up 11.8% today alone. And my favorite company of all time is Palantir. That's my diamond in the rough. I had that company for a while. It's up 18.9%. 18.9%. No bank account will get you that. Just think about that. But this is a long term. It may go down. It may go down in half. It may go down more. But we don't know. More here is we look at these discounts. We look at what's going on right now. Like I was talking about, we have companies firing on all cylinders, and there's that balance that's not really there. It's a divide. These prices of these companies are really, really cheap, very suppressed, but they're actually firing, and their earnings is what mostly matters. How much money are these companies making? And it's a lot, and they're only growing. There's a whole new explosion going to happen of the AI and all that revolution. So go around along with these companies. These companies will be the ones that succeed, and just trust in yourself. Understand there's going to be volatility. It's going to be ups and downs. Take your emotions out of investing and just be in the market and just do it rationally. I hope that helps somebody, and thank you.